Hello, welcome to Rose and Carter Do the Job. Last one of 2000, not 2000, yeah, 2020. Um, it's Bully Boys territory pick, Houston Wrestling. Um, any reason why you picked it?
No, I think we're running out of places, and I thought,
Do you know, today I've made a list of potentials. I've got a singles, territory, and tag, so I'm going to work my way through them and
all right,
pick some along the way as well. So I'll just fucking cross them off as I go because I always
well,
think of them and then like fucking 2 hours later I've forgotten them. So I've written a
yeah.
load down.
I've always liked Houston wrestling though. Like it's got quite a good reputation in it, and
Yeah,
a
very.
lot a lot of people like a lot of territories. A lot of people have passed through. Fucking the biggest names in the history of wrestling have passed through Houston. So I thought that I've seen enough of it to appreciate it, but I've not seen enough of it to like know that much about it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
I,
thought,
I listened to Bruce Pritchard's podcast,
right,
and that's where he sort of came from. Working in the office there before his WWF days. So
right,
he's got nothing bad to say about it really. But wrestling in Houston, according to the Wikipedia, started in 1915
right,
um, at the City Auditorium originally, and then in 1923 it was taken over by two brothers that I did write the names down of, but I can't fucking see it on here because there's lots of words. Um, Paul Bosch was a main event wrestler, but in 1947 he had a car accident,
right.
put him out of wrestling, sort of thing. But because he was a regular in the promotion, he got a job doing the commentary and in the office.
Yeah,
In 49, it got on television on Channel 39. It was there for over 30 years. Oh, Seagulls was the two brothers. One of the Seagulls died in 1966, and then in 1967, Bosch bought the promotion from Seagal's wife. So he sort of took over in '67, um, and it became one of the most popular wrestling promotions in the country. Uh, Paul Bosch was said to be an honest, well-paying, and great wrestling promoter. 21 years he promoted for. Um, Never had like an official affiliation with anybody, but like we said about St. Louis, it wasn't like run as a territory. It was just run, the one hall sort of thing, TV and that kind of thing. Um, weekly rather than a full-time promotion, and that was the same here. But he had like, he booked people from Mid South and World Class and Central States. Use different booking offices.
okay.
1974, he first went to Sam. Well, it says returns to Sam Houston Coliseum, so I don't know whether that was the first time he went there. I'm assuming so. Um, During the 80s, a lot of the promotions that he was sort of using the booking offices for joined the NWA. I suppose that's kind of battle Vince, weren't it? But by 1987, um, he joined the WWF and used the WWF booking office. And the first WWF event had Savage and Steamboat as the main event. There was no Houston Wrestling Championships. He just used whatever office's championships, primarily the
Right.
AWA World Champion. He had a 4-month relationship with the WWF, including a retirement show that they ran for him when he finished up.
Okay.
Um, at the retirement show, there was a message via telegram from George W. Bush.
Right.
Yeah, that was sort of ran to 87. So he took over in 60. So yeah, 21 years, near enough. Yeah. Yours was first, I think, time wise. Mine wasn't a TV; it was just like a compilation. But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it was
I.
exciting. Do you want to do yours first?
Uh. Yeah. Okay. So mine is from the 30th of December, 1979. So just yeah. So
We've done, isn't it? Really,
you are
probably the oldest we've done.
possibly. Have we done one from the 70s before?
I
79.
think matches from the 70s, but nothing
Like
as
a
in
show.
depth as this one.
Yeah, I think you might be right actually. So yeah, so it was. I enjoyed the show as a whole. Like one thing I noticed, like I was saying to you earlier, it was like really enjoyable. Like the matches were all like they felt real. Like the realism was there, and it was very not much structure to matches like you'd see nowadays. It was just literally going out there to win. Like that's basically what it was. Like a lot of the matches are back
That
and
was
forth.
a Texas thing as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You
You
know, like
just
it was the region because like Dallas was the same and San Antonio was the same. You know, the other territories, the very sort of rough and not necessarily sort of shiny comeback finish. It was more fucking go out there, do what you got to do, beat the piss out of
yeah,
someone. Over.
yeah. A bit like they were kind of like gritty, like fucking just like literally like very scrappy. Um, nothing like fucking nothing pretty about any of them, to be honest. But like I say, I enjoyed the whole show from start to finish. It wasn't like a fucking masterpiece of a show by any stretch, but it was certainly enjoyable. And I'd love to, see some more stuff from around about this era as well, to be fair. So we'll start like some of the guys, some of the people on it. I ain't got a fucking clue. In fact, I don't even know. That was a good thing about it. I'd heard of maybe one, a couple of them maybe, but generally I didn't really know. You might know who the fuck they are, but we'll start from match one. So the first match is Nick Kozak. It's a good start, isn't it? Against I didn't quite get the name properly, but there's two of them and they're in masks. This guy's number 2, and it's Satanis. Satanis number 2. So anyway, here we go on. So
Was the tennis #1 on later on?
yeah, he's in the main.
Oh, I bet the tennis #2 was well pissed off about that.
I'd have
Curtain
been
jerking and his mates in the main.
I know. But yeah, so they're basically just dudes in black masks. That's basically what they are. But yeah, I don't know who the fuck were behind the masks or anything. But anyway, so anyway, right, yeah, like I've wrote a bit for it, but and not a lot of it. It wasn't like memorable or anything, but it was just a bit like we were saying earlier, like real scrappy, like real even, and a lot of like mat work at the start. Just like rolling around, fucking grappling and whatnot. Satanic, whatever he's called, I don't even know. I could be way off, to be honest. It might be called fucking Bill. I don't know, but
Bill too.
just it sounded like satanic to me. At first, I thought it was like fucking Satan something or the other, but I'm gonna go with satanic because that's what it sounded like to my ears. But I could be way off. But anyway, he's in control anyway. Fucking he ends up with a full Nelson on. Kozak does like the arm drag from the full Nelson position, like to like gain advantage kind of thing, and it's all arm work.
Heavily Mexican influenced in that area as well.
Yeah,
So I noticed a lot of times on any Houston show I've seen, there's quite a heavy lucha influence,
yeah.
or a Spanish name, or a Hispanic sort of wrestler.
There is a promo after this match with Mil Mascaras,
Right.
and he's got Jose Lothario with him. So yeah,
So quite sort of Hispanic influenced. I suppose
yeah,
it's Texas is kind of the border, is it not? I don't know.
yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. So it's literally like right on the border, isn't it? Right. So there we go on. If my geography's up to scratch, that's where I think it is anyway. But So anyway, yeah. So there's after the fucking arm drag from the full Nelson spot. He works. Nick Kozak works the arm. I'm guessing that's his name. That's what it sounded like. It could be fucking Bob Smith. I don't know, but it sounded like Nick Kozak to me. So we'll go with Nick Kozak. But
Okay.
if you want to Google it, I don't know how the fuck you say it or spell it, so could be looking for anything. But anyway, we'll go with Nick Kozak. So he's doing all the arm work. It's kind of funny as well because at this point, the commentator, like some wrestlers like fucking they work the way up, they might start fucking refereeing, like, you know what I mean, and then start doing this or whatever. Like a lot of wrestlers, especially back then, started out as refs, didn't they?
Yeah.
And the fucking commentators like even mention it, which is quite odd, I thought, for them to like mention it, because if it was me, like I wouldn't be like, introducing a wrestler saying, oh well, he was referee last week. It's just not what I would, you know what I mean?
So
Like,
Kozak was the ref.
well, yeah, here he says, yeah, literally, he said that he was a referee in a few weeks back, and
Right.
now so it doesn't really make him look.
Short, so he's on.
You're like,
No, we're a man short, so he's on.
well, there we go, yeah. So, um, so yeah, basically they're just saying that he was referee recently and stuff. Anyway, the match goes a bit back and forth and stuff. Headlock by Nick, shot off the ropes, tackle Satanic number 2, hits the ropes. Satanic number 1. Satanic number 1's outside the ring, fucking trips him up. Boom. I didn't even know he was there until he fucking tripped him up. I don't know if he came in like, through the match or whatever, but that starts the heat basically. I say heat, it ain't really structured and there ain't that much of a it's all a bit back and forth, but generally I thought that was good. Like that was kind of like the main heat. Nick does fight back a bit. And then as he's fighting back, there's a point where number 2 just fucking jumps out the ring just to power to regroup and everything like that. Just, thought, fuck that. Can't be doing with any of that. And then gets back in the ring. Number 2, this is. He's back in control. I've actually put here that fucking Nick Kozak actually looks like really fucking. He looks really good in the sense that he's got great fire, like, and he just throws some really fucking good punches as well, considering I never heard of him, but like he really like just his mannerisms and stuff. He looks like he's really decent, to be fair. But like I say, I don't know what else he went on to do or what he'd done before this or whatever. But yeah, so anyway, number 2's back in control, ramming the old head in the buckles a bit. And then it goes a bit back and forth, but the finish just came out of nowhere. Like a lot of these fucking old territories, we've said it before, haven't we? Like the finish is literally just there. Like literally, you're not expecting shit.
Yeah. Someone last week's St. Louis was just boom done, wasn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, it's the same here actually. So all of a sudden, like fucking he's in control, number 2 is, and then all of a sudden fucking there's a little switcheroo, and then number 2 ends up on the floor, and then Nick just fucking ends up giving him like a jumping knee drop to like the fucking chest shoulder area, I think, and that was the 3, like just there and then, like out of nowhere. I said it was okay, it was a good opener. I think like it wasn't, a great match by any stretch, but it was certainly all right, doable, and can't really, for an opener as well, I thought it had done the job, to be fair. The crowd weren't into it as well. The crowd seemed to know who the fuck they were, so crowd were happy with it. So yeah, then we go into a Mil Mascaras promo with Jose Lothario. Talks about fucking 5 seconds English and then about 27 hours in Spanish. So I didn't really understand what the fuck what was going on. But yeah, that was that. Then we'll move on to match number 2, where it's Bill White versus Tiger Conway Jr.
Oh yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah, I'd heard of him, but I hadn't seen him.
Yeah,
But
big
like,
head, big
yeah,
head.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
He looked fucking brilliant. I don't think I'd ever seen him wrestle. I just heard the name, and he looked really good. Like in this match, anyway. Like he really. I don't know how much you've seen of him, or have you seen?
Um, he was in um Stampede as well, was he not?
That might be where I've heard of him.
Or Southwest,
I
one
don't
of,
know.
or could have even been both. To be fair, but he's been about though, hasn't he?
Well, I mean, I've heard the name like quite a few times. I just never. I couldn't have put a face to him because I don't think I've ever seen him. I just, I know of the name, but. So anyway, there's a little sequence at the start where Tiger finishes it off with a big backdrop. Boom. Oh yeah. Also, this show, it's there's a fucking two ring situation, like one ring next to the other.
Right.
Which I was expecting some sort of battle royal at the end of this fucking show, but there wasn't one. So I don't know what that two ring thing was about. They did mention a battle royal. Don't know if it was for a future show or whatever, but yeah.
Unless the one TV was split over 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm.
Possibly, yeah. So I also put here as well, they both look like, I know it sounds weird, but compared to the first two, these two guys look like really small. Like just like I was looking at them, and when it first came on to like match number two, I actually thought it was like a midget match. Like they're not like midgets and not like small people, but it just like looking at them at first, I thought, oh, they're like, but then I kind of realized they're not. They're just not as big as the other two, but it just looked weird to me. Like they did look rather small, but I don't know if it's just me or not. But anyway, we'll kick on. So I did say Tiger looks brilliant actually. So there's a spot where fucking Bill White's doing the running. He runs, Tiger leaps. He runs back towards him. Tiger leaps like backwards, so he does the leap as he's running from behind him. And then he leaps again, but catches him in a Hurricane Rana and boom. And like back then as well, that was pretty fucking rare, weren't it? So yeah, like literally does two leaps and then I thought he was going for a third leap, but he fucking catches him and there's a Rana. Fucking
Like Steiner's thing.
yeah.
Years later,
Yeah.
He had a name for that, didn't he? Frankensteiner.
Steiner, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit even, a bit back and forth and stuff. Tiger gives him a backdrop into the next ring, so fucking Bill flies into the next ring, and then fucking Tiger runs, jumps out of one ring into the next ring, and fucking lands on him. Like, you know what I mean? So from 1979, that's some pretty fucking impressive stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Tiger throws him back in the proper ring. Then there's a top rope drop kick on him. Bosh. Fucking Bill gets back in control. Tiger fights back a little bit. Oh yeah. I've put Tiger whips him off. Fuck me, what a forearm. I just remember it now. Fucking hell. Woo, oh, pow. I tell you, fucking hell. I was watching it and I was like, fuck me, that looked fucking that looked meaty, that did. Fucking took his ear right off. So anyway, yeah. I've even wrote fucking pow. Fucking hell, gets a 2 count on it. I don't know how he didn't fucking spark him out with that though. That'd have been a 3 in my book, but yeah, got a 2. Hang on, where are we now? Yes, Tigers. I've wrote here, yeah, it's real physical. He throws Tiger to the outside. Fucking Tiger rolls back in. Throws Tiger into the next. Yeah, this was the finish. This was pretty good actually. So what he does, he throws Tiger into the next ring again. As Tiger's into the next ring, Bill fucking turns around, like takes his eye off of him and starts posing and showing off. But as he's doing it, Tiger's climbing up to the turnbuckle in the ring that he's in like the actual proper ring, and then as Bill turns round, Tiger jumps off the top rope and like it's like a fucking just a diving headbutt, like from the top, boom, as like Bill's standing, fucking KOs him, boom, 1, 2, 3. But yeah, very good match it was, fucking
Yeah.
real good.
And
Yeah, it was,
revolutionary.
yeah, like 1979 in America, like fucking unheard of, isn't it? Like, all right, so we shall shift gears onto match number 3 here, where we have Bull Ramos.
Yes, I know him. He well, I don't know him personally, obviously. He was from Houston, but
All
that
right.
he was that his gimmick was like sort of an Apache kind of almost Native American kind of, I don't know, Mexican Indian, if that's the right way of saying it. Yeah, that kind of thing. Quite a chubby dude in black.
Yeah, yeah. He's wrestling. I didn't quite get the name, but it's one of my guesses. This is what I think he's called. Randy Brewer. So anyway, yeah.
Brewer. He's brewing his Randy. That's amazing. That's a great name, though.
Yeah. So they start with it. They do some strong tie-ups, right? Bull's fucking a lot bigger than him. Do some strong tie-ups. Then there's a top wrist lock by Randy, who's
I think
working.
Randy that Ramus used to have like a cowbell kind of rope or something with him.
Who's that?
Ramus, Bull Ramus.
Oh, I
Oh, it
didn't
was
see.
some sort of. I'm just picturing a sort of promo picture of him in my head with like a rope cowbell fucking noose, some fucking thing. Anyway.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, yeah. So they do some strong tie-ups. Lock up by fucking Randy. Works it a bit. Yeah. Top wrist lock by Randy. Gets Bulls in the top wrist lock, but like overpowers into the ropes. Clean break on the ropes. I think they're both faces here because they've both got fans, and even the commentators are saying like fans of both kind of thing. Then some arm work by Randy. They get to the ropes again, and another clean break by Ramos. This time, top wrist lock by Ramos. Randy switches it into the hammer lock. Then they do a little run spot where Ramos hits a backdrop. Then literally immediately after, they continue the spot where fucking Randy hits a backdrop on Ramos, and that was a fucking sight if I've ever seen one. Like, he's a big dude. But so where we got now? So yeah, then there's a fucking slam by Ramos. It's all like back and forth here, like fucking backdrop, fucking big slam. Headlock by Randy. This was pretty cool. Like Randy's kind of got him in a headlock. Now, if you can imagine being in a headlock, like where your arms are, like around your opponent, trying to fucking, get out of it. He kind of does get out of it, but he's in a headlock. So Ramos is in the headlock. Obviously, his arms are around his opponent. And then they go from Ramos having him in a headlock. No, sorry. Yeah, Randy having him in a headlock to actually Ramos having him in a bear hug. You know what I mean? So,
Right,
yeah. So he's released the headlock because Ramos has
pressure from the bear hug.
You what? Sorry.
Because of the pressure from the bear hug, he's released it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought that looked pretty cool, to be fair. So now there's a bear hug by Ramos, working it a bit. I actually missed how he broke it, but he somehow broke it. I think he might have gave him a fucking bell ringer or something around the noggin or something along them lines, but he broke it. And then Randy goes straight for the leg and takes him down, working on the leg. And as he's like grapevining Ramos's leg, Ramos is kind of pulling on his chin, like a chin lock. So he's in the chin lock, but also got his leg in a grapevine type situation. So they're both trying to fucking come out on top on that one. there's a lot of like mat work going on now as both guys are down on the mat. And then they switch it around to now Bull, like Ramos is working on his leg. So and then they go back and forth some more. I've put it's like a real fucking amateur type wrestling at the minute. We're like real realism and very scrappy, like nothing like Chris, but just fucking Guan fucking. And then the finish comes out of nowhere again, where fucking Randy's hitting the ropes, back elbow by fucking Bull Ramos, and then as he hits the deck, he fucking just drops an elbow on him. Pow! 1, 2, 3. It's out of nowhere.
Oh,
Bam.
God.
But yeah, it was decent. It was all right that match. Not as good as the Tiger one, but it was enjoyable. I thought. Yeah, can't really knock it, to be fair. Yeah. And then we go to some promos. By some heels and faces, like different people are talking. They keep bringing different people in, just saying a few things. Like Ox Baker's there, Conway Jr. is there talking and stuff, and just a few of the guys just saying bits and whatever about upcoming shows and everything. We go on to match 4, which is technically the main event. Now, I say that I was looking forward to this because it's got Satanas number 1.
Well, and we all know the reputation of Satanas number 2.
I know.
So
Well, there we go.
Even better, isn't he?
Well, you'd think. And I was really looking forward to this.
Number 1 is the best.
Well, yeah, Satanas number 1. Like, I don't know where the fuck he's from. Parts unknown. Like, I guess.
Status.
But, yeah, there we go. Saturn's number 1. Yeah, so he's wrestling a guy called Mike the Big Gun or something like that.
Mike the Big Gun.
Big guy in like fucking like dungarees, like a farmer type gimmick,
Like a farmer gimmick always gets over, in my opinion. Like,
no, I love a good farmer.
I've not seen a man in dungarees that's not got over.
No.
Don't give a fuck what promotion it is or where in the world. Everybody Jim, fucking Godwin's, the fucking Dairy Boys, they're all over, aren't they?
They are all over.
Fucking Uncle Alma, Cousin Junior, they're all fucking.
What's the other one? Fucking Plowboy.
Plowboy Fraser.
Fraser, yeah.
Winner. Stick anyone in dungarees, fucking over.
I might try that. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong, isn't it?
Yeah. See if you can get a bulk order. We'll all get some.
You are?
Dungaree Promotions Limited.
Yeah. You can see it now. Main event like a hog pen match. Every show.
Money right there.
I'll make some calls.
Selling t-shirts. Sell your dungarees.
There we go. So I was a bit disappointed with this match because not like there was anything wrong with the match. It started off all right, and then it goes to adverts. Right now, bear in mind, like when I started watching this match, there was about 9 minutes to go. But then about a minute into the match, they go into adverts and they never return. So like
money on it, would you say Satanico was over or Hillbilly
Mike? I don't know if he's called Mike the Big Gun or Mike the Big Gun, but it's Mike. It's something like that. But well, it started off right. This match, right? There was a top wrist lock by Satanic. Big Mike throws him down. Headlock by Satanic. Fucking Mike picks him up and just puts him on the top rope, like in the corner, just showing his power stuff. That's when it goes to the advert. But I was thinking, like, all this fucking. They have a lot of adverts throughout the show as well, talking about trying to sell me a house and shit like that. And like, if
you bought a house in Houston, I was watching this, do
you? well, I was thinking, like, all these adverts and all these fucking bollocks. We could have had a fucking hour Iron Man match at the end, but they fucking, you know what I mean? Like, they took away from Satanic number ones, like main event spot, to fucking try and sell me a house. You know, never to return. And then when it comes back, after all the adverts, it comes back and then the titles are coming up on the screen. They're like, thanks for joining us this week on fucking Houston Wrestling. And I'm like, I might have to look up fucking results, Houston wrestling history, and just to see who won, because I'm not a betting man. But if I was,
As we know, you're not a better man.
um, I'd probably. Well, Satanas 2 lost earlier. Mike's a big un. I'm gonna go with Mike. I think he won because Satanas won. It's the main event. I say the face is going over.
Two losses, the Satanics, though. I mean, they're fucking with a reputation like they've got.
Yeah, but I don't know. I got to go with the face. He's a big dude. Unless Satanis 2 and 3 and 4 come out, like the whole crew.
Could have led to a big tag the week after.
Like the Assassin. You are?
Just after the Battle Royal.
That's it, yeah. But
maybe the rest of the fucking Hillbilly and Satanic match happened and the Battle Royal in the fucking advert time.
But yeah, that was basically it.
That sounded all right.
You are?
General, though, sounded all right.
Yeah, I've put enjoyable show. Not really a structure to the matches, but I'd like to see more. And it was some good stuff. It was like we said before, I like watching these kind of territories because there's a lot of people that we come across that I've never even heard of, never mind seen. And it's good to see him. And you might look at some people and think, well, he's a bit shit, but then you might see someone else and think, fucking hell, he looks all right. Like that Tiger guy, he looked fucking really good. And the guy in the earlier match, that was throwing that fucking Nick Kozak, he looked really like real facey type thing. People have never seen before. So it's kind of like educational, you know what I mean? Going through all this.
Yeah, it is good, isn't it? It's nice to see people you've not seen. And you never would see, you know, because would never say, "I would give fucking, you know, Mike the Big Un a Google." It would never. Mine is, I'm gonna guess early '80s, like a compilation. 81, 82, 83 at the latest. I'd have thought. Pure guess though, and it's a bit different to anything I normally do because it's women wrestling in Houston, all women's matches. And they are fucking brilliant. Like, you know, I kind of fell out of love with women's wrestling when it became tits and arse. Because if I wanted to see tits and arse, I'd watch tits and arse, wouldn't I?
I always said that. I always said I'll just stick on some porn if that's what I want to see. You know what I mean? Like that is
like the wrestling element was lost, and I love tits and arse, but I like wrestling more. You know what I mean? So, but you know, I was raised on. I've always said that the British wrestling women were always better than the Yanks because they kept it wrestling. You know what I mean? So I was raised watching fucking Klondike Kate and Nikki Monroe and Julie Starr, who were, you know, in my opinion, some of the best ever. And I didn't watch the Americans because they were too fucking tits and arse. But here, it was fucking wrestling. You know what I mean? And it was cracking. The first one, Wendy Richter versus Leilani Kai, fucking bosh. Leilani's got no shoes on. Love Leilani Kai. You know, the Hawaiian thing that she does. Wendy Richter takes the arm. Leilani Kai pulls her hair. They're very samey, these, though. So, you know, you get a lot of the same spots in the matches. Bear in mind, they would have all been different shows. And, you know, the ladies were kind of a novelty kind of thing, weren't they? So they wouldn't have been on every show. So they could use the same things. And to a degree, they might have all been trained by Moolah. So they all knew the same things. But fucking brilliant stuff. Really good. There's hammerlock exchanges and arm lock exchanges and blah, blah, blah. Leilani Kai's always pulling the air whenever she can. Kai takes the head. Then all the fucking heel stuff starts. Then she's sort of choking and using her hair to hide the choke and all that kind of shit. The fucking referee in this, whoever it was strict as fuck. Like, he weren't taking no shit. You know what I mean? He was fucking brutal. Wendy Richter sort of fires up at some point, but Leilani Kai cuts her off. And then there's like a fucking great elbow drop. Leilani Kai does one that's about fucking 92 foot off the floor. Then she misses a knee in the buckle. Leilani Kai posts Richter, runs at the fucking buckle, catches the knee. Wendy Richter then takes the leg, but Leilani Kai fucking eyeballs her out. And then she works her over a little bit more, biting the fingers, all that kind of G, like proper heel stuff. Armbar, Wendy Richter gets up and there's another hair pull. Proper good villain was Leilani Kai. There's a bit of a miss towards the end. I thought it was towards the end, but there was still, a little bit to come. But I thought it was the finish, to be fair, that just fucked up a little bit. There was like, they both hit the ropes at the same time, coming towards each other. And then it was like there was a miscommunication because they got to the middle and it was like, oh, fuck. And one was holding the other and the other was holding the other. And there wasn't a tackle or a fucking, no head was taken or nothing was just stop. Let's think about this. There was a power slam in the end after like two of these miscommunication fucking Irish whippings. Leilani Kai power slams Richter, but there was no look. I thought that was going to be it, to be fair, because I thought the miscommunication was the finish, but the power slam, then there was no look. And then there was a post in by Leilani. She runs into Wendy, catches the boot, bosh, and then Wendy Richter quite literally just rolls her up for the finish. But the match was brilliant, really good. I mean, very basic, don't get me wrong, but fucking brilliant. Like, all you need is basic when it's done well, isn't it? The second one was my favourite match out of all. I think there was four of them, but this was my favourite. It was Donna Day, who was the heel, versus Debbie Combs, who's quite well known, sort of Tennessee girl.
Right.
Cora Combs' daughter, I believe, who was quite a legendary lady name. Donna Day's the best heel of all on this, little package. Mouthing off at the start and proper fucking taking her time, and right from the beginning, she's in control of what she's doing. She knows, what's going on. Very sort of basic, exactly the same as before, taking the arm, taking the head, hair pulls, that kind of thing. Then she puts the boot in between the shoulders of, she bow and arrows Debbie Combs, with the arms behind the back, boots in the middle, and then lifts her up and sort of pushes her off, which was right cool. But then Debbie Combs does the same. Like, she's pissed off now, so Booth, up she does the same. At one point, there was a good thing that happened in the next three matches, though. But it's something I've seen before, and I think it's really cool. Like, like body scissors from behind, and then they lift them up and fucking drop them on their ass. That's right. On the third one, Debbie Combs got her feet up and then fucking ran to the ropes and did some fucking flippy thing on it. But that happened in all three matches, which was what was I was saying before about probably trained by the same people, or you could do that, couldn't you? But it was all well worked and very well structured stuff. A bit later on, there was two slingshots into nothing, but like fucking face first, and Donna Day goes fucking face first into the mat. She powders out, then she fucking whipped back in over the top rope. There's two sunset flips by Combs, but nothing happens. Then Donna Day cuts her off and fucking slows it all down, working over her leg. And then there's a shitload of pin attempts, like fucking, roll ups and small packages and sunset flips and fucking, it's all going on. Really, it's quite a fast pace. It's done well structured because it's slow. there's heel shit going on, and then there's like a big high spot, and then the babyface takes over, and it's all fucking going on. The finish is that Debbie Combs goes for the body scissors again, which she gets from the full. She puts the full Nelson on first, jumps round her waist from behind, and then bosh to her arse. I put keister bumps. And then sort of rolls around the ring like fucking loads of times, and then pins her from that, which was really cool. Very enjoyable. Very, very enjoyable. Oh, they do a surfboard as well, which is quite rare in the American world, I'd have thought. But then I think that's like a Mexican influence as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
The third one, Wendy Richter again, but she's the villain in this one. Versus the Cherokee Princess Victoria, who's like a, Native American kind of G again. Quick roll up from the start from the fucking princess. She takes the arm, but she's kind of knocked off on the quick. Then Wendy Richter takes the arm, like shed loads of time. Very same start. They're all similar, but they're all really good. So I'm only kind of picking out the best bits. Wendy Richter, if anything, is a better heel than she was the babyface before. There's good. Wendy Richter is choking Victoria, right, and she keeps fucking breaking off, back on again, back on again. And as she goes down for like the third one, fucking the Princess Victoria just moves her face a little bit. She ends up putting her thumb in her mouth, and then they're getting up with the fucking biting her thumb. It was right good. Like precision, because she just goes down straight in her mouth. But brilliant, really good. Princess does a shitload of sunset flipping things, and then the keister bumpy things. Wendy Richter does a right good snake eyes. Which I hadn't really seen until kind of WCW, so that was before its time, wasn't it? 10 minutes in, Wendy Richter with a bulldog, a camel clutch, big splash. Then the princess gets thrown out of the ring. She blocks the head to the buckle on the outside, like on the apron. Victoria's on the apron, and Richter goes to put her head in, and she blocks it and boshes Wendy Richter in. And then the princess fires up, bish, bash, bosh. And the finish is Wendy Richter tries to slam her, and she's small package, job done, 12 minutes 43. And the last one, which was the worst one of the four, but still very good, was Irma Gonzalez, who was the Mexican ladies champion by all accounts, versus Vicky Williams. Just a sloppier match in general, but more sort of lucha-y. But then it's Irma Gonzalez, who was the Mexican ladies champion. A lot of the same things, the thing on her arse, the hair pulley cheating bits. Bronco Lubitsch was the referee, so they must have got people from World Class, because he was World Class referee. But the finish for that was a surfboard.
All right.
Was, like fucking proper pulling back surfboard thing. Roll around, she did, as it rolled around with it and back on again. But yeah, 4 matches that I really enjoyed, and like I said, it's not me being sexist. I just don't like women's wrestling being fucking TNA. When it's great, it's great. I've got a load of the LPWA videos, which was like Judy Martin and fucking Leilani Kai and proper wrestler girls, and a Welsh video, Orig Williams show of lady wrestling, which is brilliant, proper good stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed them. Saw stuff that I wouldn't see, like you said, seeing people that you wouldn't see. But Houston's a winner.
Yeah, it's a winner. I'll be watching more.
I've seen some Houston wrestling. I've got a video or a DVD, it might be, called Houston Wrestling Spectacular, and it's like hour and a half of Houston mixed matches or whatever. Yeah, it was good. Enjoyed it. First one of the new year is the Moondogs, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Friday, isn't it?
We're looking forward to the Moondogs.
Yeah, that'd be good. That.
There's various Moondogs as well, so
Yeah. So.
you don't know which combination you'll find.
So we can use anyone, can't we? We can just
Yeah.
literally watch any.
As long as there's 2 Moondogs, job's a goose on it.
There we go.
Yeah, I've not looked into that really, but they've been a lot of places and done a lot of things, and even fucking there's going to be new versions of the team and stuff. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Monday's X-Pac.
Yeah.
Which again is going to be lots of places, and much as he's been the same style, wrestling hasn't.
Yeah.
Like wrestling's evolved a lot since he started, and he was revolutionary because he was like one of them first popular flippy type people, weren't he? The people must have been watching him in the early 90s going, fucking hell, kid, slow down.
Yeah. Yeah, he's wrestled. He's had like the thing as well about X-Pac is he has had some fucking brilliant matches against so many different fucking sizes and different opponents. Like so much to choose from. He's like I think he's phenomenal. Like, and he's wrestled everyone.
Remember the Razor Ramon win from watching it on fucking TV?
Yeah.
Nobody expected, to me watching that, he was just another fucking Barry Horowitz, He was just there, we all knew the score. He was just there to put Razor over. And then that to me, mate, made me think, fucking hell, wrestling's got to be real. And he was just looking at it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've been like, what, 13 or 14 or something, but fucking hell.
That was crazy.
And then next Wednesday, Territory Day, Herb Abrams UWF.
Oh yeah.
There's 46 episodes on YouTube. Every episode is on YouTube. There's 2 big shows. One of them's a pay-per-view and the other's like a big show. There's one lost episode that never showed, but it's on YouTube. And then there's some called like the lost tapes or some shit or unreleased footage. But that's a bit fucking ropey, to be fair. I've seen that. Right. But to me, like I've seen most of the TV episodes, and it was one of them that seemed to have a great budget at the start and all the names in, and then towards the end, like a couple of days ago, I watched the last couple of episodes. Fuck me, it's rotten. So it all depends on when you pick. Like the last couple of episodes, much as at the start they had Brian Blair and fucking Mr. Wonderful and Don Morocco and Cactus Jack and fucking Dan Spivey and all these fucking established names. At the end, there's like Mohammed the Butcher, because they can't quite afford Abdullah the Butcher, so they've got Mohammed the Butcher. And there's a dude called Jim the Animal, because they can't afford George the Animal, right? Who's managed by somebody that looks just like fucking Captain Lou, even though they had Captain. No, looks like Oliver Humperdinck rather, and but it was like fucking proper low rent television. But I still loved it because I love shit wrestling. Yeah, so that's that. Next Wednesday, Bosh. Moondogs, X-Pac, UWF, Herb Abrams. Nice mix, nice.
Very good, get mate.
Different in style from X-Pac to fucking Moondogs.
You can't, can you?
Bosh, yeah. Right. See you in the new year, people. Have a good don't let this tear bollocks worry you. Just fucking get a bevy in the house, don't matter, does it? Fucking fill a bowl of some crisps. Get fucking Hootenanny on the telly. Job's a goose on.
There we go.
See you then.